Have you ever been so consumed by fear that it felt like a physical chain, holding you back from what you truly desire? In a village shrouded by mist and memory, lived a young warrior named Kylan. His home, Mistwood, was a place of perpetual twilight, where the sun was a pale rumor and the trees dripped with a constant sorrowful dew. Kylan was the son of a hero, a man who had faced the great beast of the mountains, the Gloomfang, and had fallen. That failure became Kellen's inheritance, a cloak of pain and fear he wore every day. The Gloomfang was more than a creature of flesh and bone. It was a nightmare given form, a monstrous shadow that fed on the village's despair. Its roars were not just sounds, but echoes of every doubt and insecurity in the hearts of the villagers, especially Kellen's. The elders, their faces etched with the lines of long-suffered winters, saw the same fire in Kellen's eyes as his father's. They summoned him to the great hall. "The Gloomfang grows stronger," the eldest said, his voice a dry rustle of leaves. "Your father's fire burns in you, Kylan, but it must be tempered by a wisdom he lacked. It is your turn to face the beast." But Kylan was paralyzed. The words struck him like ice. The memory of his father's defeat, the sight of his mother's silent grief, was a wound that would not heal. He fled the hall, his heart a frantic drum against his ribs, the elders' hopeful faces turning to ash in his mind. He was found by Alara, the blind seer, not by chance, but because all lost things in Mistwood eventually found their way to her. She sat by a cold fire, her unseeing eyes seeming to pierce the veil of his turmoil. "Your father fought the beast with steel," she whispered, her voice like the gentle flow of a deep river. "He tried to destroy his fear, and in doing so, gave it all his strength. The beast is not slain with a sword, Kylan, but with understanding. It feeds on your fear. You must starve it." Kylan is at a crossroads, holding a truth he can barely comprehend, about to walk a path no one has ever walked before. He must face the monster that defeated his father, not with a weapon, but with an idea. If you believe in the power of stories to change our lives and want to see how Kylan's journey ends, subscribe now and join us in discovering the lessons hidden in the shadows. Alara placed a smooth, cold stone in his hand. "This is not a charm," she said. "It is a reminder that the heaviest things can be held, can be known. Go now, do not fight the shadow. Face it." With the stone clutched in his hand, Kylan began the long walk to the beast's lair, a gaping maw in the side of the mountain that wept cold mist. The path was a torment, every shadow twisting into a memory of his father's last, desperate moments. Whispers slithered in the air, voices of his own doubt telling him to turn back, that he was weak, that he would fail just like his father. He reached the lair, his heart a storm of terror. There, in the cavern's deepest dark, he saw it. The Gloomfang, a whirlwind of shadow and rage, larger and more terrible than any story had ever told. Its roar was the sound of breaking bones and shattered hope. Kellen's hand flew to his sword, the instinct to fight, to attack, screaming within him. But then he felt the cold weight of the stone in his other hand. He remembered Alara's words. He did not draw his sword. He stood firm, his feet rooted to the ground, and he spoke, not to the beast, but to the memory of his pain, to the fear that had been his constant companion. "You are my father's failure," he said, his voice trembling but clear. "You are my shame. You are the ghost that has haunted every step of my life." He acknowledged his fear, not as a master, but as a part of him. "You are a part of me, but you are not all of me. I will not feed you with my struggle anymore." As acceptance replaced terror in his heart, a strange thing happened. The great beast, the vortex of rage, began to shrink. Its deafening roar quieted to a pained whine. Its monstrous form dissolved, the shadows bleeding away until it was but a whimpering small creature at his feet, no bigger than a lost pup. He had not killed his fear. He had understood it, accepted it, and in doing so, had tamed it. Kalen returned to Mistwood, not with a monster's head on a pike, but with a quiet confidence in his eyes. He returned not as a slayer, but as a leader who understood the true nature of courage. The lesson he brought back was not about being fearless. It was about looking your deepest pain in the eye, acknowledging its power, and choosing not to let it win. For true strength is not the absence of fear, but the mastery of it.